Hello guys, welcome back to another Lumley Gaming video. We've not been here for about 4 or so years now. Again, kind of just had our focuses in life, got away from gaming, focused more on obviously making money, starting to get older, had to look more job focused, so started to trading, and that's really been my focus for the last 4 years. Ever since I left this channel is basically when I started trading all of my time. So now I am full time. If you want to check out the trading channel, it is in the description because we do actually post on that daily. But to get straight into it, I don't want to bore you anymore. We can run through, see what are the key things of this season. Again, not saying this is a proper comeback to YouTube. We may just see how it goes. But again, I don't play and I don't have the time to play as much games as I used to. So we'll just go over the key things. Firstly, we've got this new Classic Age wrap. Actually looks quite nice. I mean, I'm personally not someone who cares too much for the wraps, but if you're someone who likes wraps, could be quite nice, and it does obviously move, which is quite cool. Then we go on to the Time Sweeper glider. Now I want to see how this is actually used. I'm not seeing how the character actually uses this. Like, do you sit in the middle? Do you kind of glide below it? I mean, I don't really get how we hold this, but either way, does look quite cool. I'll be excited to use this, and we do actually have 5 stars, but it's not enough to get that glider. There's also some new music. I'm not personally someone, I usually have the music disabled, so it doesn't bother me. Again, you get your V-Bucks obviously. Then we have a back bling. I quite like this as well. It does move. It actually goes quite well with the skin I've already got on, so that's quite cool. I do quite like that though. Then we've got a contrail. Again, everything's kind of matching. It's all kind of time focused. It looks quite cool, or clock focused. I do quite like that one as well. It'll probably be one of the ones I use. There's only about 3 or 4 I go through, and that is quite a nice one. Then we have the error skin. Looks alright, nothing crazy, but not a bad kind of first page skin. Then going on to the next page, we can see we got some sprays. Oh, I do like that pickaxe. Nomad Spear. Nomad Spear. I do quite like this. This will probably actually be a pickaxe I use quite often now. That's probably one of the best ones we've had in a season for a while. Again, I haven't really played all that much. I played the most recent season, but before that, I don't think I played any of Chapter 2 or the beginning of Chapter 3. Then also have an emote. Get out of your mind. It's quite a cool emote, Then we have another glider. I'm assuming with this one we just jump on the side of it. It's how I would imagine it works. But that one's quite cool. I quite like that one. Another contrail. Basically just like a less aggressive one compared to going on the first page. Then we go over to Trace. Oh, I do quite like this skin. I like the reactiveness of the skin. Looks quite cool. So we'll go on. So far, and let me mute my phone. I do quite like the look, though, of this season pass so far. And if we go through, we have more V-Bucks. This looks like a style. Okay, seems like a bit of a boring back bling. I'm not going to lie, the beacon glass probably won't be something I use all that often. Going on to the contour camo. That I quite like. It could be a good alternative if you didn't play, I think it was Season 3, Chapter 1, where you got the John Wick blackout camo. This could be a nice alternative if you just like a nice kind of plain dark camo. We have, don't really care for those. So this is a style of Rebel Trace. I quite like it. I think I still prefer the one on the page before, the blue version of it. But we'll go on to that next page. We have another emoticon. We don't care for that. 100 V-Bucks. Quite a nice looking pickaxe. Molten Max Axe. I do quite like that. Probably be something I use. Then we have a back bling. Okay, I really like this one. I can't remember what it was. I remember when I used to play, there was a guitar skin. I think it was a legendary skin. You kind of got a guitar backpack a bit like this one. So if you never bought that skin like I didn't, you're kind of getting a similar back bling now. Then you have this wrap. Again, I don't mind it, but again, I'm not a big fan of the wraps. I don't really care. You can't really see them all that much. Then you have Raiden, or Rayan. Quite a cool looking skin. These ones I never tend to use. I'll use them when the season's out, but I notice I never really go back to these sort of skins. So it probably won't be something I use in the long term, but not a bad skin. Now, if we continue on, we then have the Molten Max Axe, but a different style, the green one. This will probably go with more skins. At least my skins are more kind of green focused, so that will go a lot better with it. Then we have the Buzzsaw Breacher style. So I'm assuming that's the glider from the first page. A style for that. Oh, I quite like that emote. It's just quite big and different. That's quite cool. The emote, this is fine. Then on to another skin style. Again, this one could be good. At least it's a bit more camouflaged. Going on to page 6. We're nearly halfway now. I'm already quite liking that contrail. Reminds me a bit of the fire one we got a few seasons back. Looks quite cool. Then we have the lithic camo wrap. This one actually I do quite like. Again, I don't really care too much for camos, but this one does look quite cool. Then we got the Bat Bling Signal Tracer. That looks quite decent. I think it could go quite well on a skin like the Red Knight. Now we got a new skin, Relic. Does actually look quite cool. I'm quite a fan of this skin. Probably be something I use. Looks quite decent. Now on to the halfway page. We're on page 7. Hunter's Reach. So it says this is a style. So I don't know if that goes on the style of that pickaxe before that I said looks really cool. Was it Norman's Stored or something? But this pickaxe as well. The pickaxe have actually been really cool this season. I think they're the highlight so far. Again, another 100 V-Bucks. Then we've got the Sky Scout style. Well, it says style, but I don't know which one this one would cover. But again, just another glider. This one does look quite nice. I do like this one. Could definitely be something I'm using. Then we go to the Deep Walker Relic. So again, just a style of the skin on the page before. I really like this. This one I actually is really cool and probably look quite decent with a cape or something on. I'm liking that. Then we go on to that next page. We have another Bat Bling. Wings. I'm always a fan of wings. So this one is quite cool. I think this will actually go really well on... Is it the Dark Bomber? The Dark Bomber skin. Something if you own, I own it as well. I think these will actually go really well just getting a glimpse from it. Now we go to Kazdora. Just a glider. Again, I think this will just go well. I think that this will be a cool new set that you'll probably see a lot of people rock with the Dark Bomber, this glider, and the wings. Then you have this new skin. Probably will be nothing I ever use. Not a big fan of these kind of skins. They just look a bit boring to me. And again, another 100 V-Bucks. We then have some slasher based pickaxe. These quite cool. I think I've already got one pair. I don't really know when I got them. Use them somewhat regularly. They're quite cool. Again, I like the color schemes. These are really going well for the Dark Bomber skin. And that is a skin I use quite often. We then have the emote Count It. Decent. Again, another 100 V-Bucks. And then we go on to the Midnight style of this skin, which is actually quite cool. This one I could see actually using. The original I thought was a bit boring on the page before, but this one I quite like. Now on to page 10. We have more music. Which is that. We then have 100 V-Bucks. We then have the Bat Bling. This one I quite like as well. The Northern Cresta Deluxe. I do quite like this, I have to say. Probably be something I use as well. Especially more these ancient skins or kind of these ruined skins. A bit like the one I've got on now. I think these are where these ones look really well. So it's actually quite a good thing I kind of had the skin on as we go through this battle pass. Then we have a machete. I quite like that. I don't think I have any ones that are a bit like this. I know there used to be kind of a knife one in the item shop. Never bought that. But this is something that looks quite similar. So I quite like the look of that. It'd probably be something I use. I'm a fan of that. Then we go on to Lorenzo. It's an alright skin. I think the problem with this skin is it looks a lot like other things. We have kind of the Indiana Jones skin. And to me it looks pretty similar to that. Probably just not as cool. But we'll carry on. There'll probably be styles to it to make it look cooler anyway. We then have the contrail with the drops with the drone. I actually quite like that. Then we go on to the adventure aerial, just another style of a glider. Again, quite cool. Don't think it'll be the top of the season, but definitely not the worst one of the season. If we continue again, we get another 100 V-Bucks, and then we got the dramatic flares emote. That one I quite like, especially if they bring something like the planes or helicopters back. Could be a cool emote. Then you got just a style to Lorenzo. This is now making the skin look a lot cooler and kind of a bit more unique. I do quite like this style on there. And if we continue, you get another banner icon, a camo if you prefer more kind of the bright camos. You got the iconic age in kind of a white variant. And then we have some double-edged swords. That's quite a cool pickaxe. I think my favourite one is still basically the first one you unlock. I really like that. These ones are decent. But yeah, I mean, they're decent. That's it, I would say. Another 100 V-Bucks, and if we continue further, we then get an emote. This one doesn't like that emote. I do quite like. I'll probably be throwing that on the roster. And if we continue forward, we then have basically another style for that clock emote. Again, I quite like that. I do like it when they do styles in just different colors, because then you can kind of match it to more skins. Just get the same with the pickaxe, just a green variant. And again, for that same glider that we basically got on the first page, just a green variant. For some reason, and it might be because I'm seeing this, which is reminding me, and this skin kind of remind me, giving me a bit of Mortal Kombat vibes. I think this is like Radon. It just reminds me with the hat. Oh, I accidentally went back. I think that hat kind of reminds me of a Radon looking kind of Mortal Kombat character. And then you have this, which is, I don't know if it's the same. I don't think it's him as a character. There's another character that kind of throws blades that kind of look like this. So yeah, it kind of gives me a bit of Mortal Kombat vibes. Now it looks like we're getting to the Transformers, the Optimus Prime skin. You kind of get a Autobot emblem. Again, I'm not someone who really watches these kind of movies, so I don't really care too much about the back bling, or I don't care for the branding of the back bling. But if you're a fan of the movies, then obviously that's going to be really cool. You get the Cyber Axe, that's quite cool. I do quite like that. Then you go onto Optimus Prime as the skin. Guessing that's a built-in emote for the skin. It's a cool skin. Again, I don't really watch the movies, but still, even just as a skin, I do like it. So very cool skin, and that looks like there we come to the end of the battle pass. So that's the main breakdown. We can see if there's anything new, so we can quickly run through the bonus rewards. So again, these are from when you get from level 100 to level 200. Again, normally it's just going to be styles on everything. Oh, I do quite like that contrail difference. That looks really cool. That's decent. Basically, you're just getting colour variants, which never anything to complain with. I quite like that version of the machete. I don't really see a massive difference with that style, but still looks cool. You get a bit of a reactive stuff around the mouth. And again, maybe this is what's giving me those Mortal Kombat vibes again. You kind of have the thing near the mouth. Again, looking a bit like a Sub-Zero Scorpion thing from Mortal Kombat. Another variant of the guitar on the back bling. That's quite cool. The blades. Another style to the glider. Don't really see a massive difference with that one. Definitely, that's a big noticeable difference in the camo. Looks decent. And then we have an Optimus Prime. I don't actually see what the difference is. Maybe just a bit more damage because it says battle tested. And if we go across, we can't actually see these then for 14 days. So I guess they're giving us a bit more to be revealed. I don't know if they did this in previous seasons. Again, I wasn't playing in those seasons. But cool to see nevertheless. And then we can go over to the quest. There's some new quest rewards. We can get this style of the skin. And if we go across, again, basically just more and more styles, which again, I'm never going to complain with styles, because it's just, you can use them then basically with more different and yeah, different skins. I quite like that battling, something a bit different. And then that's pretty decent. I just quite like this glider in general. That could be my favourite glider of the season. And then yeah. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you will probably enjoy this video too.